Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
So what, here's your copy. The police file number's on the top there, very top. Okay. And then
Anything else I need to know?
No, if you want to dispute it, have the disputers on the back.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, you too.
God bless. God bless.
It seems biased, but I'm not a Charter of Rights expert, but it does seem like a line has been crossed, you know, where, I mean, we're taking care of all COVID protocol and trying to be careful, and they want to close us down. But right now I could go down to Walmart, grab a shopping cart and get COVID off of the handle. So it doesn't make any sense. And as far as we believe, you know, the spiritual needs of our community is above everything essential.
Freedoms: freedom of conscience and religion. C, freedom of peaceful assembly and freedom of association. So, you know, there's a lot of debate over what we're doing and everything, if it's right and stuff. We believe that we have the freedom and the right that's been built in by people that want to respect the supremacy of God.
I see that there is a ticket that was issued. What have you been told?
Well, my friend here, Randy, talked to the officer, so I was inside doing the service, and apparently we were getting ticketed outside here, being told that we're not allowed to meet, and they'll be back for our next services to re-ticket us and ticket individuals that come walking in. That's what we're being told.
And how much is the fine for?
This one is $2,300 for the church here, and then individuals sound like they'll be getting ticketed about $230 for coming.
So I got to tell you, I walked in here. We've got this gentleman here. He's been wiping down the doors.
Good job.
We've got signs on the doors. The front entrance has, hand sanitizers, masks. What would you have to say to Canadians who believe that churches like yours are just big super spreaders?
Yeah, well, I think we look at what the facts have shown, and that hasn't been the case. And we've been meeting here since May and holding 3 services, and we've had no incidences happen. And we're happy to follow along with restrictions when we see that it is necessary and truly a medical emergency. We just haven't seen that yet, and I think a lot of people would agree that the numbers and the data just aren't lining up. So we're trying to be careful. We're trying to do everything safe and do our part, but we feel that meeting together here is something that we have in our law, and we just desire to continue on to do so while we can.
It's an incredible video, over 20 minutes long. Every moment of it will have you gritting your teeth with frustration. Imagine singling out churches. You cannot gather in a church, but hey, go to the gym. By the way, I don't want the gym shut down either. I'm just saying, if your Costco's and Walmarts can be open, why can't your churches? Well, I think it tells you something about the political biases of our system. Joining me now via Skype from the lovely Greater Vancouver area is our friend Drea. Humphrey. Drea, great job. I feel like you're giving a voice to people who are ignored by the mainstream media. My one criticism is, and I see it with Christians, and I can say this as a Jew, that Christian instinct to, be as gentle as doves and turn the other cheek. Well, that's not the Old Testament way. I tell you, I feel like fire and brimstone when I see the police picking on churches. I guess I'm just wired differently. All that, cheeriness, and God bless. I mean, holy cow, it sound like good people, but I think we've got to fight for them. I think we've got to lawyer up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I mean, I think that their demeanor and, the setup of the church and how attentive they are to COVID, I think that all plays against the label that churches are getting as these super spreaders. I see that in different COVID awareness groups. Oh, well, churches are super spreaders. So I think that the report does show that isn't the case, right? And that these collective restrictions on groups of people, and not just Christians, but all religions, it's just not right.
We have been watching this from coast to coast. You're out there in beautiful BC. I'm out here in I was going to say a bad thing about Toronto, but it's my home, so I won't. So we see it across the country. We see Pastor Hildebrandt in Aylmer. We see the pastors in Steinbach, Manitoba. We see the churches in Mennonite country in Wellington County shut down. We see Arthur Pavlovsky, the street pastor in Calgary, charged with $1,200 for feeding the homeless. I think that authorities are targeting churches, number one, because they're trying to take advantage of any anti-Christian bigotry out there in the media. And number two, because of what I said earlier. I mean, I tell you, those old order Mennonites wouldn't even criticize the government. They're so peaceful in nature that I think that the authorities say, well, if I went after Costco or Walmart, I'd get in trouble, but these churches are so mild, they're easy pickings. I think these churches are being targeted precisely because they turn the other cheek. I mean, look at, people were thanking the police officers for ticketing them. Listen, I understand that it's not well, maybe it is the cops' fault. Oh, I was just following orders. I don't know if that's an excuse. I was just following orders and targeting the church. So don't follow the orders. Or say you used your police discretion. I'm madder than they are, Drea.
You know, I've said that before to some Christians. I think when I shared the, your take on what happened to the old Mennonites, I said, why is my Jewish boss more concerned about the Christian churches being targeted than the Christians themselves? But no, you're absolutely right. And it seems like they almost are maybe even practicing on the old Mennonites because they know, there's going to be no resistance. And that was just heartbreaking. And I'm like you, I want to get out there and fight the fines or make petitions or whatever we can. And, Jesus was like that too. It was illegal for the lepers to be around people. Did he mask up and stay at home in a bubble? No, he went right up to the lepers and he hung out with prostitutes. So, I'm surprised that the church is behaving the way that they're behaving, but I'm happy nevertheless to see churches like Riverside, Calvary Chapel start to wake up and start to take a stand in their own way.
Yeah. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.